Hello students, how are you all? Hope all of you are well, all of you are good at your home. Stay at home, stay safe, right? Be safe at home only. You have to stay at home, you have to be safe. Actually, in the previous video, I had explained you about the class 8 science chapter number 4, metals and nonmetals. How the metals and nonmetals came from the elements, all the three parts, metal, nonmetal and metalloids. And after then, I had also explained you about the metal ores and their chemical formula, as I had given you in the previous video homework also about the names of the metal ores and their chemical formula. Have you remembered what was the ore of aluminium? Bauxite, right? Have you heard? Yes, aluminium ore name was bauxite. Chemical formula was Al2O3 into 2H2. You have to remember this chemical formula. Today we are going to discuss the properties of metals and nonmetals. First of all, what is this properties? Can you tell me what is the property? Property means as you are having property, right? 1 crore rupees, 10 bungalow, 4 Mercedes. Are these properties? Yes, it is your property. Yes. You describe your physical properties. Property means characteristics. Which type of character do this metal have or non-metal? We are going to describe in this topic about the characteristics of metal and nonmetal. The two characteristics are there, physical and chemical. What are the physical characteristics? Physical characteristics which describe the shape, hardness, soluble, insoluble, temperatures, melting point, boiling point. All these properties are called physical properties. And chemical properties, when this metal or non-metal reacts with another chemicals like oxygen, any acid, any base, so that is called after reaction of this metal and non-metal with the acid, base or any other gases. So that time whatever the compound we get. So these type of properties are called chemical properties. Got it? Physical properties and chemical properties. So let's start our topic. First, the properties of metal and non-metal. First topic is physical properties. Physical state. What do you understand? Physical state. First topic of physical properties is physical state. What do you understand by physical state? Means at which state they are existing. There are three states: solid, liquid and gas. Right? In these three states, the metal exists in solid state. Remember. There is only one metal which exists in liquid state. That metal name is mercury. Which is that metal? Mercury. Mercury only exists in liquid. Rest all the metals exist in the solid forms. Got it? At room temperature only and only mercury exists at the liquid state. And if we talk about the nonmetals, nonmetals also exist in, see, nonmetal is all the metals. Remember, these are the properties of metals. All the metals exist in solid state except mercury. If we talk about the nonmetals, nonmetals exist in all the states. Solid also, liquid also and gas also. In the liquid there is only one, that is bromine. If anybody will ask you which nonmetal exists in the liquid state, so you can say bromine. Bromine is a nonmetal which exists in the liquid state. Some gases, oxygen, halogens, they exist in the gaseous state and some exist in the solid state also. So as we see the physical states of metal and non-metal. Physical states means how they look, means they are solid, they are liquid or they are gas. So in the gas, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine and so many gases are there. If I talk about the solid nonmetals like sulfur, carbon, phosphorus, so these are solid nonmetals. And if I talk about the solid metals, except mercury, all the metals are solid. All means all. Got it? So all the metals are solid at room temperature except mercury. And non-metal exists in the solid state, non-metal exists in the liquid state, non-metal exists in the gaseous state. All the examples of the non-metals, as I have said you, carbon, sulfur, phosphorus, in the gaseous state, oxygen, nitrogen, in the liquid state, bromine. Now we are moving to the second property, that is hardness. This was the physical state. Second physical property is hardness. What do you understand by hardness? When you compress any object or any metal and non-metal, if they are being compressed very easily, compress means what? You are giving pressure on that object. So as you compress and it is being compressed, or it is being easily cut, it is being easily broken, it is being in the powder state, so they are not hard. Metals are generally hard. Remember, most metals are hard. They cannot be cut easily or cannot be break easily by applying pressure also. So if I talk about the iron rod, just suppose iron is a metal, okay? Iron is a metal. I have told you metal are the three parts of the elements: metal, non-metal and metalloids. Metalloids means the mixture of metal and non-metal is called metalloids. But the pure are two, metal and non-metal. Hardness, if I talk about the iron hardness, have you ever seen iron rod? If I will tell you to compress the iron rod, will it be compressed? If I will tell you to break the iron rods, can you break with the hand? I will not give you that cutter or any other saw. I will not give you to cut it. So without the help of that, can you cut the iron? Can you cut with your teeth? Can you cut with your hand? Not possible, because the metals are hard, right? But some of the metals can be break under the pressure. If we talk about the sodium, lithium, sodium metal can be cut with the help of knife. Have you ever seen a sodium? Sodium are kept in kerosene oil. They are very much reactive. Sodium is a metal whose chemical means element symbol is Na. Latin name is natrium. What is its Latin name? Natrium. And this sodium can be cut with the help of knife. It is very much reactive. When it comes in the contact of air, it starts burning. So remember, it is a very highly reactive element. So some of the metals can be cut under the pressure, like lithium, sodium, potassium, etc. But some metals are very much hard, as I have told you about the copper, iron. They are hard, and none of the metals are in liquid state. So some of the metals you can see, all the metals are in the solid state except the mercury. And the hardness, if we describe about, so some metals are very hard, most of the metals, not some, and some metals are soft, so they can be cut with the help of knife by applying under the pressure. Now if I talk about non-metals, non-metals are not hard. Non-metals are not hard, but remember, there is one compound of non-metal called diamond. Have you heard the word diamond? Diamond is the hardest substance in the world. Hardest, right? So non-metals are not hard, they are soft and brittle. They crumble into the pieces when the pressure is applied to them. But diamond, a form of carbon, is the hardest mineral known. Diamond, a form of carbon, is the hardest material till now, hardest non-metal which is known. Okay, metals are generally not hard, they are brittle, they are powder form. If you ask coal powder, have you heard the word coal powder? Carbon is non-metal, the powder it is just coal, coal. As you break it, if you break with a hammer, it brittles, it becomes into the powder form. So non-metals are not hard, and there is only one non-metal which is the form of carbon, that is diamond, which is the hardest substance yet. Now, after getting the second property, now we will move towards the third property, tensile strength. Have you heard the word tensile? What is the meaning of tensile? Tensile strength. A material is the amount of force required to pull it into a point when it breaks. Metals have the high tensile strength. They can be used heavy object without breaking. Non-metals, on the other hand, have low tensile strength and they snap under a load. Metals have high tensile strength. Tensile strength means tensile strength of the material is the amount of force required to pull it into a point. Means just tensile strength means the wire can be drawn through. Wire drawing. As for example, if we talk about, have you ever seen a copper wire coil? Have you seen copper wire coil? What do you see? In this coil you will see the copper metal has one point, and from the one point it has been drawn till 2500 meter, 3000 meter or more than that. So as the wire can be drawn through it into the long form, that is called highly tensile strength. Generally all the metals have high tensile strength. And if we talk about the non-metals, they break. They do not have this hard or high tensile. They have low tensile strength. They snap under the load. As the snap, they can. If we talk about the metals, they have high tensile strength, and if we talk about the non-metals, they have low tensile. See, these are the physical properties. As I have told you, physical state. Second one was hardness. Third one was tensile strength. Now we will talk about the lusture. Have you heard the word lusture? L-U-S-T-R. Lustrous property. Lustrous means shiny property. Shiny means they are shining very much. You will see. Have you ever seen a golden ornament? If anybody wear a golden chain, you will see as they come in the sunshine, the gold starts shining. Or you may, if you have ever visited in a golden shop, you will see as the lights are on, you will see everywhere it's shiny, shiny, shiny. Right? So the metals have shining property, that is called lustrous property. So metals are lustrous and non-metals are not lustrous. Means old metals object can be polished, they can get shine back, but the non-metals are not shiny. Exception, graphite and iodine. There are two non-metals which are shining like, except is graphite and iodine. These are the two non-metal, graphite and iodine. These are the two non-metals. In the exception case, they both are shining, except these two non-metals, all are not lustrous. But if we talk about the metals, metals are lustrous, they are having a shining property. But some of the metals get in the contact of air and water, so their polish has been removed. Means it is coated with the water and air. If we rub with the sandpaper, you will see again it. Have you ever seen a aluminium utensils or aluminium vessel? As you see the aluminium utensils or aluminium vessel, you will see on the aluminium the black color layer has been coated. Black color layer has been coated. And if you want to remove that black color layer, you have to use a sandpaper. And after removing the sandpaper, again that aluminium vessel starts shining. You can do the same thing in the silver rings, silver chains, but gold is gold, right? Gold also, if you do many time reaction with the water and air, so sometimes the water layer comes on it and you think that this is the duplicate gold, but it is not a duplicate gold, it is original gold. Sometimes the layer coat on it, if you rub that gold, if you do the polish of that gold, again it starts shining. Got it? So this was the property called lustrous. Now the next property is malleability. Malleability means the piece of coal is crushed with the powder where the copper wire becomes flat. The property of the material due to which it can be hammered or pressed into the sheet is called malleability. Malleability. If we talk about the fifth property, that is malleability. Malleability means it can be drawn into the sheets. Sheets means malleable, first of all, malleability. Malleability. If just suppose I am having 1 gram of gold, right? 1 gram of gold. As you will see, the goldsmith will hammer this gold and they will make a flat mold of just 1 gram. Means metal has a property to drawn into the sheets, tin sheets. You may have seen the cane, bottle canes. So they are drawn into the sheets. So that's why they are called malleability. The piece, if we just suppose a coal is there and I hammer a coal, it will become into the powder. And suppose if I am having a gold, little bit piece of gold, and I start hammering continuously, so it will become a flattened. It will draw into the sheet. So this property is called malleability. Now we are talking about the ductility. The next property is ductility. What do you understand by ductility? Have you heard the word ductility? Ductility means the property of material due to which it can be pulled into the wires. The property of metals due to which it can be pulled into the wires is called ductility. Ductility means, see here, if we talk about the malleability, it can be drawn into the sheets and it can be pulled into the wire. They both are approximately a little bit or coming to the sheet. The malleability can be drawn into the sheets and it can be pulled into the wire. So that is called ductility, but the non-metal cannot. I have informed you about the tensile strength. Tensile strength of the material is the amount of force required to pull into a point. It will not break where it breaks. As for example, just suppose if you are taking a metal, metal rod, and you will see a point where it breaks. So that point is called tensile strength. What is the tensile strength or high tensile strength? Metal has high tensile strength. Metal has ductility, metal has malleability, but the non-metal do not have all these property. If we talk about the sonority, sonority means what? Sonority means when you hammer to a metal, it produces a sound, sonorous sound called sonority. Sonority means, have you ever seen a school bell? How does it rings? So that is called when a metal is, especially when a metal rings, it make a noise and they are hit. The property of making this noise is called sonority. But suppose about the non-metals, when you hit the non-metal, it will not make a sound. So non-metal do not have the sonority properties, metal have the sonority properties. Now we are talking about the conductivity. Conductivity means metal conducts electricity and heat through it, right? Conductivity means metal has a property to flow electric current through it. So that's why copper wires are used in the electric appliances when you are especially attaching the fan with the wires. So you are using copper wires. So metal has a property to conduct electricity through it. So metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. Now the next property, ninth property we are talking about, melting point and boiling point. Melting point and boiling point means when we specially boil metal or when we heat to the metal, so melting point and boiling point of the metals are very high. Melting point of the metal and boiling point of the metals are very high. But if we talk about the non-metals, they are having low melting point and boiling. You just suppose iron. If you want to mold iron into different shape, what will happen? The iron has to be heated till 5500 degrees Celsius. You just suppose in your kitchen, your mama is boiling water, you can see her face becomes red in the 100 degrees Celsius. Just put your finger, little bit finger in the boiled water. You can understand what is happening. But the metals requires very much high degrees Celsius. So that temperature, it can be molded into any shape, that is called melting point of the metal. And boiling point, it becomes more high. So metals have high melting point and boiling point. Now the last property, physical property of metal is density. Remember this word, density. Dense, you know, very much. That is called density, is very much. And density, most metals have higher densities than non-metals. Lithium, sodium and potassium are the only metals that have less density, lower than the water also. So these metals float on the water. See, because of high density, the metals go inside the water. When I throw, just suppose this is the iron rod, and if I throw this iron rod into the water, it will go inside. It will not be floating on the water. But some metals are there, like sodium, lithium and potassium. They float on the water. They float because they are having a low density. But generally metals have high density as compared to the non-metal. So these all the properties, whatever I have taught you, these are the physical properties of the matter. As you can see, the physical properties of the matter are physical states: hardness, tensile, lusture, malleability, ductility, sonority, conductivity, melting point, boiling point, and density. In the next video, we will discuss about the chemical properties. That's all for today. I hope all of you understand about the properties of metal and non-metal. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share this video with your friends so they can also enjoy. That's all.